Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Uncommon Tank review. And today we are going to be looking at a silly tank on a silly map, and I'm going to be playing silly as well. So, it is the Tortoise, the Tier 9 British tank destroyer. And this game will be as silly as the shot I just took. I was hoping there was somebody there. Was there? I don't even know. I didn't even check it then. But oh well, probably wasn't. I'm just backing out because this thing is so slow to turn that I didn't want it to risk to get shot. So I rather do this and then start the game from here. So before the game starts, let's talk about the armor. It has the obvious cupola. Below the cupola is a weak plate that can be penetrated by 200 plus penetration guns. The plate on the other side can be penetrated by around 240, 250 penetration guns. But the lower plate and the upper plate on the hull can be penetrated from up close, but not from distances. So don't shoot that. Shoot just below the gun, the cupola, and you should be able to penetrate this beast. Yeah. So the mobility, it is fucking slow. It never tops 23 or something. I don't know what's the top speed is on this thing. My replay is bugging out now. It shows some shitty values, but I think it's around 20. So that's what you should be looking at. It never crosses 20. So yeah, it's pretty damn slow. But that's kind of the British thing. They're slow and not very well armored. As the same goes with the Tortoise. It has so many weak spots that you can't really say that this thing is armored well. And yeah, here I find my first target, and here we come to the gun. This is one of the best guns in the game. The aiming time, the accuracy, and the penetration, everything is awesome on this gun. So 1.7 second aiming time, so this is almost no aiming at all necessary on this gun. 3.31 accuracy, and a rate of fire is around 8. Was it 75? 8.75, I think. But well, if you want to know more, it's without burrs in arms, but with ventilation and rammer, the reload is around the. No, it's not around. It's 5.99 seconds. I guess you can get it a slight bit lower, but yeah, it's around 6 seconds. So I was trying to get the epic game in the Turtles for like 300 battles. I couldn't get the ace tanker. This was the tank I was struggling the longest time without getting an ace tanker, and it was getting to the point that I got so desperate that I was chasing my epic games like this. I am going to scout with the Turtles, and no matter how funny it might seem, but at this point I didn't really care too much. And here I spot the IS-3. And notice that this armor at ranges will work pretty well for me. The IS-3 shouldn't, if he doesn't fit the big spot or the plate below the big spot, he shouldn't be able to penetrate. There's a Yak Tiger definitely shooting at me, and something else, probably an IS-8 or something. And here Yak Tiger takes out. Really stupid thing about the Tortoise, loader sits in the weak spot, so your loader gets killed a lot. It's sometimes like your loader dies and in the next shot he dies again. You get him back and he dies again. That's really annoying in the Tortoise, and it happens quite a lot. But as you can see, the IS-3 couldn't pen me. The IS-8 or whatever shot me as well. Couldn't pen me. They didn't put the most accurate shots, but they were trying, and their accuracy failed them. The actor though put one straight into my cupola, and that of course penned. So before all the action begins, the equipment I use is ventilation, rammer, and binos. I don't use camo net on my turtles since I'm mostly doing silly stuff like this. But if you really like the camping play style and you just like to be a proper TD and just sit somewhere, probably it's worth to switch out to vents for camo net, but I don't do that, so I'm just rolling with my equipment. And for crew, of course, 610s repairs are pretty important if you engage your enemies at any distances closer than 100 meters. And of course, camo if you want to sit in bushes, but I don't do that either, so I don't really bother with camo. Trajectories needs to be increased because it's really low. As you can see, this thing turns like a brick. And this is kind of a silly engagement though. I'm shooting at hull down T-32s, and and I can't really pen them reliably. I had some lucky penetrations, but I can't do that on regular basis. So I decided to shoot this T-34. But what's silly about this engagement is that those two guys have almost zero hopes to pen me either, since their guns are not very high pen or high accuracy. So we're just trading these, wasting our ammo and trying to hit the enemy's weak spots. And of course, the Tortoise is the best thing to hit weak spots with, but the T-32's weak spots are not that big. I roll quite a lucky shots on their turrets. I didn't really think that they have so many weak spots on their turrets, but apparently they do. This gun is able to hit through it as well. Well, the gun has really nice penetration, 258. That's like the best penetrating the heavy tanks gun there is in the game. There's TDs who penetrate, whose penetration is better, but not that much. So here I thought that the T-32 might start to get busy with the rest of my team, but no, he wants more, and so I'll have to shoot him more. He hits me twice. He hit the second shot, hit the weak spot, and I'll now nail him away. Not with this shot. This is, of course, when the enemy is one shot away from death, then it takes like 5 shots to kill him, and it will be the case in this engagement as well. So how to unstuck the Tortoise? The gun, basically what you will be looking at is a Tortoise with a shitty engine. If you didn't go with the heavy tanks, Tortoise with a shitty engine, a really bad gun for a tier 9 tank destroyer, and not the best. And of course you need the tracks. So our research order would be get the gun. The gun is what makes this tank destroyer work. Then get the engine. Use the torsion bars to get the track, to not bother with the tracks, and then when you get the gun and the engine, get the tracks. Because I mean, this thing is painful to play with the stock engine. 650 horsepower is the stock engine, and 810 is the top engine. The top engine is used on the British heavies though, so if you went that way it shouldn't be a problem, but if you didn't, it will be a really painful grind. Another really nice thing about the Tortoise is the gun arches. The gun has really nice traverse angles to the left and to the right, as well as the gun depression is really good, and gun elevation is alright as well. So this tank destroyer can't be circled very easily, but the gun arches means that you really can. It's really tricky to not get tracked when one of these things is looking at you, because he's really accurate, and the gun arches makes him not lose his aim when he's aiming at your tracks. And with this silly game is over. So 6.4k damage, 2.2k spotting gives me finally ace tanker. I've been chasing this ace tanker for so long. I had my previous best experience was 2175, and that didn't give me the ace tanker, but finally I got it. So I sold the Tortoise and I'm ready to move on. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.